Hi everybody, this is Ali again. I'm talking about the circumstances regarding my father's passing and the transition of the business to his children. The circumstances of my father's passing were a little unusual and we weren't expecting it. The business transitioned to us by Illinois law. He had a lot of his business operations were entangled with business operations of others, and we had to untangle all of that forcefully. So, to the dismay of many people, Purely Wild survived. Barely, but Purely Wild survived. Nobody was ready, didn't have consistent management. Why? I'm working full time. My sister has 5 kids. My other sister is in France. We're trying to come together and do our best, but it was really difficult. The business was at risk of failure. We didn't have everything we needed initially, all the information that we needed. We had to force others to provide it. It's just shocking. If something that belongs to somebody else is in your possession, most of us would just hand it over to somebody, but there's individuals out there that will try to take everything they can from others. So that's the situation. But thank God we were able to acquire his books. We were able to acquire a lot of the knowledge needed to run the business, and we had to educate ourselves and learn quickly how to function this. We weren't profitable, we were losing money, we lost a lot of sales, orders were not fulfilled for a long period of time, and the customers were wondering what was going to happen. Rumors were circulating that we weren't going to fulfill orders, that his kids were just greedy people that want to benefit from the business. So basically, we all had this desire to see that our father's work was carried on by the family, by people who actually cared about others and wanted to see them succeed. So basically, that's where we had to learn quickly. My sister initially took it on herself, despite everything she had going on in her life. She took it on to try to lead the company. But with everything she had going on with the 5 kids, it was just too overwhelming. I was assisting here and there with projects to get the business back on track, but I couldn't commit to full time. I always struggled with this transition. How am I going to do this? This isn't my cup of tea. This isn't my specialty, my expertise. But slowly I prayed and I asked God for help, and I came to the realization that, you know what, Ali, this is more important than what you're doing. This is more important than going out and working for some company and helping them to improve their systems. So this is more important because people are relying on you. Look at our customer testimonials. Our customers are relying on us. You know, like we can't just give up on this. So in any case, we can't just sit on all this knowledge. 40 books, to sit on all that knowledge that's helped people, so many people, that would be a crime, you know. And we can't just let his memory and his legacy die, like so many wanted. People that sought credit for his work, right? And that's not going to happen. But the question is, how do you adjust? How do you change yourself? When you're living one life, how do you live a different life that is needed? I came to the realization there's a transformation required, right? Mental transformation, like really getting outside of your comfort zone. You have to really think carefully about that. And so that was the most difficult part for me, really, to get outside my comfort zone and do something different, and believe too. I had to believe that. And it's amazing that the way that God created the human being. This is why we're a dominant creature on this earth, right? The potential that we have that we don't realize a lot of times. Now I'm so excited to learn every day about my father's work and absorb as much as I can and implement it. Because when you learn something and then you implement it, it really gets absorbed. And so, you know, I'm going through this physical transformation with my health, eating the things that he's recommending, staying away from the things that he advised to stay away from, working on my physical activity, fasting more, trying to fast more. And that's really improved my health. I can lead this company, and I'm committed to this for the benefit of our customers and the wellness of our customers. The transition has been difficult. It's been over 3 years. By the grace of God, I'm able to step in and actually lead this company on a day-to-day basis. I really hope from the bottom of my heart that we can make a difference, just like my dad made a difference. I really hope that we can really help to improve the lives of people. Because if I was suffering as much as I was suffering with my health, I know that there's many people out there like me, and I keep hearing it. So we need people to be at their best, and for them to have options, and not to be stuck in this cycle of sedentary life and unhealthy eating and suffering. Thank you so much for listening to me, and wish you all the optimal health and wellness.